Where do we want to start?
We already did.
Oh, okay.
So this is Gatherings Thrift, huh?
Yes.
And so you actually can see all this fun stuff before you even get in the store.
We stage it, make cute little settings.
If they're driving by and they see some of this furniture out here, they're going to kind of be attracted to it. And
yeah, we have people stop just because of what they see in front of the store.
Yeah, like if you are a frog lover, how could you not stop here, right?
Totally.
How cute is that?
Yeah.
Can you show us what's inside?
Sure.
Get these amazing mannequin heads. They are adorable.
Oh, thank you. They started out as this boring plain styrofoam and then I got the idea to decoupage them and give them some character. So little by little I've been going through the store and decoupaging. This one it's decoupaged, but then a case of false eyelashes came in and I thought, oh, how fun. So I stuck the eyelashes on there. Give it a little more character.
So you've done a bunch of these I've seen throughout the store, huh?
Yeah, and here we've got another one. I just use old like wrapping paper or old napkins. Work really well too. Just different color schemes. Oh, this one is a man's bottom half, but I gave him a little character. He's naked right now, so I need to put some shorts on him or something. I thought it was a good manly theme, you know.
Definitely.
And then this one was fun. This was just an old bust that I got, and I covered it with some old pattern pieces, like vintage old pattern pieces. She's got legs here.
Yeah,
show some of her legs.
People would probably even be interested in buying these beautiful pieces here.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
I really like the way this came out, kind of burnt looking.
Yeah.
You know, very rustic. There's a couple more over here, and this is the one I wanted to show you. Oh, this one. This is the one. I have an employee here that thinks she has not a creative bone in her body. And so I told her I was going to be doing these one night. We stayed open late at night. I invited her to join me. She says, oh, I wouldn't be very good. I said, oh, it's super easy. I'll walk you through it. She had so much fun, and she felt very creative and very proud of herself afterwards. This is the one that she did. And this one is a unique one. I've never seen a mannequin head that had such a long neck, and it had broken in half. So I mended it, and it was painted awful, and I just took this clear tissue paper and did it over the painted face, and it muted it some, so it made it a little more acceptable. But I love the long neck on her. And this one I just did in black and whites, kind of different. And then I've got some yet to do.
So you really go the extra mile to make this boutique-y and make it look really crafty and fun. And
Yeah, and then and all the while keeping real thrift store prices. That's a huge, important thing to me, because a lot of times people think, oh, boutique-y, you know, high-end or too expensive, and we really do have good prices here for what we got. So, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of clothes that go either way.
So one by one, huh?
Oh yeah, we're checking it out. We're very picky with what we put on the racks because we want them to be good quality. But that said, we also want to be the thrift store that has real thrift store pricing. So we beat everybody in town as far as our pricing goes, but good quality. This is our book nook. We have in here books of every kind, and all the way to books on tape. And then we have our DVDs in here, movies, and CDs. We do have a huge section of VHS, but it's in a different area of the store. We couldn't fit it all in here. But we have a retired librarian that I was able to score as one of our employees, and she's fabulous. She's done a great job in here, and she knows what people are looking for, so she picks and chooses, and she's arranged this whole thing in sections and highlights different things. Like right now we've got Louis L'Amour books highlighted.
It's really beautiful how the design is up there too.
Yeah, she sets up little hotspot books that she thinks people might be interested in.
I love little books.
Oh,
There's a whole little collection here of these little books. How cool is that? It's really sweet. It's nice how they create a little section here. And all the little, like, just the displays. This isn't just a thrift shop. It's beautiful.
right. Well, like
It
I was
just draws you
talking
in.
about our passions, the people that work here have a passion about something, but they want to make it pop. And that's part of one of the differences, is that we are clean and tidy, have good music, good smells, but we make it pleasing to the eye to look at.
And where are we here? We're in the craft room, huh?
Yes, the creation station for inspiration.
So people can come in here and they can find some crafty stuff. Hey, where do these donations come from? Where do you get all of this stuff?
Just the public, they want to benefit the local charities that we give back to, and so they figure if they donate here, then they know that their stuff is going to go to a good cause. They know how not to be involved in my kids' lives, and they went on to other places. And so I sat around and twiddled my thumbs for a couple of years and tried this and tried that, and turns out I'm not a very good thumb twiddler. So one thing led to another, and I came up with this idea, and I shared it with a good friend of mine, and she said, "Oh, you have to do this thing." And I'm like, "Really? Do you think it'll work?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, you got to do it." And I said, "Well, I don't even know how to start. What do I do?" She said, "Well, write a business plan." I'm like, "What's a business plan?" So her son just graduated from Cal Poly. She got me hooked up with him, and I spent some time talking with him, and I got a business plan template and started filling it out. It took about a year of it was really good because it made me think through all kinds of things that I never would have thought through before. Laid out a business plan, and one thing led to another, and here we are. That's how it started.
So you started as a for-profit organization, right?
Yeah, it was the easiest way to get started actually with the businesses as sole proprietor. It's a pretty easy way to do it. As I went on for about a year and a half, I started realizing that if something were to happen to me, then the business would just die. And I felt passionate enough about the business that I felt like what we got going here is a good thing, and I would like to see it go on into perpetuity even without me if possible. And so I thought, okay, I'll do the 501c3 thing, become a nonprofit, board run, and then the board would insure.
Just a simple little process.
Yeah, it was a year out of where it was like really hard, really intense, really hard year. So I went through all the process and now we are a 501c3 nonprofit. We have a board. If something were to happen to me, then it would be their job to make sure that this is up and running. They'd hire another me and keep it going. Oh, this is Big Boy. Hi, Big Boy. This belongs to one of my employees. She approached me and asked if she could keep him here because she's in between places, and so she didn't have a place to have him. But I thought, oh no, I don't know if we could handle another cat around here, but anything that I can do to help somebody, if I can do it without compromising what we got going on here, then I'm going to do it. We're trying it out, and so far it looks like it's going to work, and she's just very grateful to be able to have a place for her kitty, her beloved kitty she's had for years and years. So another way we're giving back.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're like just helping the whole community, including the animals.
If I can. Okay, so when we first occupied this building, this alley was just kind of a dead space, and it looked very bleak and desolate. So there was just this little tiny strip of dirt, and I thought, oh, let's plant something. So I got a few little plants and we stuck them in there, and they've just been going bonkers. They're all drought tolerant type of plants, and it just brought the alley alive. So then we started little by little, as we started growing out of the store, we started putting stuff out here that could handle the weather. So little by little, we've been developing the alley. We put out here, we've got our 50-cent bins, which is where we put stuff we can't quite throw in the trash. And so people like digging through here, and for 50 cents they might find a little treasure. You can see how our plants have just kind of gone bonkers because they started out little and they just are taking over parts of it. But one of the things that we really like to do, and with the green business idea about recycling, repurposing as much as possible, I was thinking, what could we do with all this broken glass and all the broken pottery and everything? And it's overwhelming. And again, I don't like to just throw it in the trash. So I got on Pinterest and actually found this idea of tumbling it. And so I bought myself a handy dandy little cement mixer. So I put all the broken glass in there and tumble it. And we've come up with sea glass. It's not technically from the sea, although I do tumble it with sand and salt. It comes out like this, and what we've been doing is topping the soil with all of our sea glass to make this alleyway really pretty. It's all manageable, you can handle it. It's all smooth on all the sides. We've got all different colors.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and we just take it and do that with it. And so the customers love it. They come out here and hunt and peck for pieces. There's all kinds of craft projects that they can do, and all kinds of, you can use it for mosaics. Even if you just put it in a jar in a window, it looks really cool. I really particularly love topping my plants with it because it just makes them pop and makes it look nice. So we do sell little baggies of it. We also tumble broken pottery and those kinds of pieces, so it smooths the edges out and you can use it for all kinds of things. Mosaics and that sort of stuff. This is a really cool piece. Once in a while we get handles of the pots that stay intact while we tumble it, and that's kind of fun. You could do little projects with that. I sorted out into different sizes. There you can see is smaller pieces for smaller projects. We'll bag it up. This is just donations that come in. They're cups, saucers, mugs, pots, plates, things that are already cracked, broken, chipped, that really nobody's gonna buy. But I'm hoping that this will be inspirational and people will want to buy bags of this for different projects. I think it would make a great sidewalk if you laid it in a sidewalk path or different things like that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, fun pieces in there.
So are these already tumbled?
Those are tumbled, yes.
Wow.
They're all smooth edged and
this is kind of cool how you can see some of the name a little bit.
yeah. And some of this ceramic is actually, like this one is an antique piece. Unfortunately, it was really broken up. Some of these are made in Italy or Germany. There's some really unique, interesting pieces in there. What we do here is, again, trying to think about ways that we can recycle, repurpose, and then also make it a fun place to be. It's all about shopper experience, and we try to give the shopper fun things to do. So we've created a succulent creation station, kind of like a salad bar for creating a succulent. And we take the little pieces of pottery or ceramics that are chipped or cracked or broken at some level, and we think that they would make a cute little planter. So what they do is they can walk away with a potted plant, and they get to pick from an assortment of pots or containers. They would fill it with soil here, And then they get to choose a succulent clipping, and these are just clippings from my yard or other people's yards. Choose the plant that they want. And then we have different kinds of rock toppings that people can choose from to top the soil. We've got, this is kind of fun, it's just an assortment of shells and things like that. And then they can pick a doodad to put in their plant if they want. This is a little broken bird, sadly, but it would look great in a succulent. Here's a little dolphin that would look really great in a plant. Lots of fun ideas there. And then you would just take a little bit of a sprinkle and water it, and you're good to go. Local charities with the profits, and when someone makes a purchase, they earn a button for every $5 they spend. That button represents the profit from their purchase, and then they get to have a say where it goes of the charities we give back to by putting them in the jars that they want to support.
So what are the organizations you're also?
So we've got the Atascadero Printery, which is reclaiming and restoring an old historical building here in town. And they want to make it a community use facility for multi-purposes. The one I'm most excited about is a theater. They want to have 350-seat theater, which is exciting. This is Parents for Joy. This is a group of parents who have disabled children, and they're banding together to build a playground that's all-inclusive. All kids can play, but it would be for disabled children. This is ECHO. They're the El Camino homeless organization. They're a homeless shelter. And then we've got Lighthouse. They work with teens for drug and alcohol intervention, prevention, and education. This was started by a group of parents who actually lost children to drug abuse, sadly. But it's a great organization, turning the tide of that. This is the Wellness Kitchen, which uses organic, locally grown foods to make healing foods for people who are sick. And they will deliver the food to them if they can't get to the food, and if they can't afford it, they also have grants to give them. And then our purpose is we purchase quarts of their healing broth, which is their mainstay, their foundation to their organization. So when we give them money, we're purchasing a quart of the healing broth for somebody else to use. And then this is the Tree of Life, which is the Crisis Pregnancy Center here in town.
So are all of these local organizations?
These are all local to Atascadero, with the exception of the Wellness Kitchen, which is just the next little town up in Templeton.
Okay.
So, yeah, local to Atascadero. Besides giving back to the different charities financially from the sales, we have a lot of other partnerships that we do that we give back to that I'm excited about. One is the Eckert Workforce Program, and they take folks who really need a hand up out of their situation. They're emotionally, socially depressed type people, and they give them some skills and job training, and then we've partnered with them, and my job is to give them on-the-job training with skills and different work ethic training and things like that. And they have a grant that actually pays them to work for us or volunteer for us. So we give them training that way, and it's a great way to give them a hand up out of their situation where someone else might not look at them, but we can give them a letter of reference if they can take on another job. We also work with Steps and Options. They work with mentally disabled folks, and they come in once a week for about an hour or two, and usually with a mentor from their program works with them, and then they will get some on-the-job training skills to help them as well. So that's neat.
Do you have any success stories there? Any transformations that you can tell us about?
Yes, well, from the Eckert Workforce Program, I've actually hired a couple people from there. I felt like that they were a good asset to what we got going on here. And then they find other jobs or move on or move out or, you know, do different things like that. So I've hired a few there. We've had some very interesting people. It's always a challenge to work with people that have, you and I take common sense for granted, but common sense isn't that common to a lot of people who maybe didn't have good parenting, come from a home where anybody spent any time with them. And so, training people in those ways has been interesting, but rewarding, because you're helping them get to a different place in life and kind of up out of their current situation. So that's been rewarding.
You have a lot of different crafty kind of areas around the place, Alesen. Does anybody work on any particular, do they become experts or specialists in tumbling or any of those kinds of things? Or?
Not yet. I would love to find some volunteers, because what makes this successful is our volunteers. I would love to find volunteers that have a passion about something. One of my passions is helping people find where they're passionate, and the jobs here are so varied that it lends itself to helping people find those. And when they find something that sparks their interest, it's exciting to see them come alive and be able to work in that. And I super encourage people working within their passions and being creative and doing that kind of thing. So it'd be fun to find someone that just did the sea glass, or someone that just did this or that. Colette, her passions are jewelry and books. She was a librarian for years, so she's turned our book nook into a fabulous shopping experience there. And then jewelry, so she works on jewelry and pricing it and getting it out. So there are a few people that are working in their passions here. One of the other partnerships that we have is, and one of my concerns for society, is human trafficking. And so there is a group here in town that is working to abolish that, or to bring awareness about human trafficking. So many people don't really know what it is, or if they think they know what it is, they think it's something different than it really is, but it hits very close to home in every town in America. Yeah, surprisingly. We are working to help bring awareness of the issue by partnering with them, and we've created this library for human trafficking resources. If anybody's interested in learning more about that, we've got lots of different books here that can be checked out.